Hello everyone, I am Mrudula and today's topic is the informed consent process in a clinical research. So let's start with the definition. Informed consent is a process by which a subject voluntarily confirms his or her willingness to participate in a particular trial after having been informed of all aspects of the trial that are relevant to the subject's decision to participate. Informed consent is documented by means of a written, signed, and dated informed consent form. The goal of the informed consent process is to provide people with sufficient information so they can make informed choices about whether to begin or continue participation in the clinical research. Now we see the historical background of informed consent. So in 1891, the Prussian Minister of Interior tuberculin for the treatment of tuberculosis must not be used against a person's will. Then in 1898, Dr. Albert Nezer was fined by the Royal Disciplinary Court of Russia for not seeking patients' consent for his experimental studies of vaccination for syphilis. And in 1907, Sir William Osler endorsed the necessity of informed consent in medical research. Now we see the informed consent process framework. The information provision and sharing by the research team. After that, the discussion and interaction done between the researchers and potential participants. After that, the true understanding done between the researchers and the participants. After the true understanding, the acceptance or rejection of participant was understood, and after that the follow-up was taken. There are some difficulties related with the informed consent process, and that difficulties may be faced by the patients or the physicians. So problems that physicians may face are the use of technical language, then uncertainties intrinsic to all medical information, then worried about harming or alarming the patient, and hurried and pressed by the multiple duties. And the problems patient may face are the limited knowledge, may be inattentive or distracted, then overcome by fear and anxiety, and the selective hearing because of denial, fear, or the preoccupation with illness. There are some guidelines and laws given for the informed consent process. The guidelines are the Nuremberg Code, then DOH, then ICH E6 section 4.8, which are from the GCP, then ICMR guidelines 2006, and the laws are the 45 CFR 46.116 common rule, then 21 CFR 50.25 FDA, and the schedule Y. Now we see the required components of informed consent form which are given by the ICMR guideline revised version 2006. First one is the nature and purpose of study, stating it as research, then duration of participation with number of participants, then procedures to be followed, then is investigations if any to be performed, foreseeable risk and discomforts adequately described, and whether project involves more than minimal risk. Then no loss of benefits with withdrawal, benefit sharing in the event of commercialization, contact details of PI or local PI or co-PI in multicentric studies for asking more information, then contact details of chairman of the ISC for appeal against violation of rights, and voluntary participation. After that, if test for genetic and HIV is to be done, counseling for consent for testing must be given as per national guidelines. Then storage period of biological sample and related data with choices offered to participant regarding future use of sample, refusal for storage, and receipt of its results. The compensations in trial related injury involved are the adverse effect of investigational product, then departure from approval protocol, scientific misconduct or negligence by the investigator, then failure of an investigational product to provide attended therapeutic effect, then administration of placebo providing no therapeutic benefits, and compensation for injury to a child in utero because of the participation of parents in clinical trial. Now we see the obligations of the investigators. So the obligations are the communicate to prospective participants, then excluded unjustified deception, undue influence and intimidation, then seek consent only after the prospective participant is adequately informed, then obtain a signed form as an evidence of informed consent, preferably witnessed by a person not related to the trial, then take surrogate consent from the authorized relative or a legal custodian, then fresh informed consent of participant where applicable. If participant loses consciousness or competence to consent during the research period, surrogate consent may be taken from the LAR. Then assurance form continuation of existing benefits even after withdrawal of consent. 32. So, informed consent is a process that is not just a signed document. The important landmarks in the informed consent form are the Nuremberg Code, DOH, and the Belmont Report. The three basic components of the ICF are the information, comprehension, and the voluntaries.